a symphony of 1,000 worlds, a place where stars and stories met. The air buzzed with chimes, merchants' calls, and the scent of spices mingled with new technology. Anything could be bought or sold: glowing fruits, maps of forgotten star systems, fabrics that changed color, or tiny robots that sang lullabies. The bazaar teemed with beings of every shape and size: winged insectoids, rock-like creatures, floating jellyfish, and laughing children. Under bioluminescent fungi, the market glowed gold, making chrome starships and jeweled fingers sparkle. Every stall held a secret, every turn a new marvel. It was a crossroads of the galaxy, a celebration of life's diversity. Here cultures mingled, connections formed, and legends sometimes began. The bazaar was more than a market. It was a living, breathing testament to the wonders of the cosmos. In this place, curiosity was currency, and discovery was endless. The energy was infectious, the light warm, and the sense of possibility infinite. It was a place where you could lose yourself for days and still not see everything. The Grand Bazaar was a beacon of peace, mostly, but even here, shadows sometimes crept in, and today, a shadow was about to fall. The stage was set for something extraordinary. Even in this place of light, a shadow could fall. The Scarveth, a creature of legend. The Scarveth was a silent predator, known across 100 worlds. It moved with deliberate grace, its chitinous plates absorbing the bazaar's golden light. Its multiple eyes glowed coolly, scanning for weakness. The Scarveth hunted not for sport, but to weed out the weak, believing only the strong should survive. When it entered the bazaar, crowds parted in fear. No one dared meet its gaze. It watched for a nervous twitch, a hurried step, a faltering spirit. Its presence chilled the air, silencing the market's vibrant chatter. Today, the Scarveth moved through Xylos, searching for a particular flavor of fear, a deep, profound insecurity. A small, furry creature trembled and scurried away, a plant-like being wilted in its shadow. The Scarveth moved on, unsatisfied. The crowd held its breath as the shadow passed. The bazaar's energy dimmed wherever it went. The Scarveth was a judge no one wished to face, but today it was searching for something new. The predator's hunt had just begun, and the bazaar waited, tense and silent. The shadow was here, and everyone felt its weight, but the Scarveth was about to encounter the unexpected. The story of the day would not be one of fear, it would be one of courage, and the legend would begin with a single, quiet arrival. The bazaar braced for what was to come. Then something new happened. A human entered the bazaar. Humans were rare here, known for their fragility and lack of natural defenses. This one walked with quiet confidence, eyes wide with wonder, seemingly unaware of the tension. They wore simple clothes, carried a small bag, and radiated calm. The crowd reacted with curiosity and whispers. A human, so far from home, so unprotected. The human smiled, friendly and open, at those who stared. Across the plaza, the Scarveth noticed the shift in energy. Its gaze locked onto the human, a perfect target, out of place and by all appearances vulnerable. The predator's instincts flared. This was the prey it sought. The Scarveth began to move, silent and deliberate, toward the human. The crowd froze, watching. The human, oblivious, examined a stall of star charts, tracing glowing lines with fascination. Most would have sensed the Scarveth's approach, felt the cold dread it projected. But the human remained calm, an island of peace in a sea of panic. The Scarveth slowed, puzzled by the human's serenity. This was not the reaction it expected. The bazaar held its breath. The predator and the human were on a collision course, and nothing would be the same after this meeting. The crowd watched, transfixed. The legend was about to begin. The Scarveth's hunt had taken an unexpected turn. The human's calm was a mystery, and mysteries the Scarveth could not resist. The moment of truth was near. The bazaar waited, silent and tense. The next move would change everything. The story was unfolding. The Scarveth closed in, only meters from the human. The bazaar was silent, all eyes fixed on the pair. The Scarveth tried to sense fear, panic, dread, weakness, but found only calm. The human looked up, meeting the predator's gaze with curiosity, not terror. This was the moment when prey usually broke, but the human did not flinch, did not run. They simply studied the Scarveth as if trying to understand it. The predator was confused. Fear was a universal constant, yet this human showed none. The Scarveth stepped closer, emitting a low, guttural sound meant to intimidate. The human's expression remained unchanged, calm, steady, waiting. The roles had shifted. The Scarveth hesitated, sensed the change. The dynamic had shifted. The Scarveth was no longer in control. The legend was taking shape. The predator faced something it could not understand. The human stood their ground, a beacon of stillness amid chaos. The Scarveth saw no fear, only deep, unshakable confidence. The human raised a hand, revealing a sleek device on their wrist. Not a weapon, but a statement. I am prepared. This inner strength was a shield stronger than any armor. The human's calm seemed to push back against the Scarveth's fear. The predator's confidence wavered. The human nodded, a gesture of respect, not challenge. In that moment, the dynamic shifted. The prey was not acting like prey. The Scarveth was left in confusion, its rules upended. The Bazaar watched, sensing the change. The hunter was no longer the master of the encounter. The human strength was undeniable. The Scarveth had never faced anything like this. The crowd felt hope. The legend grew. The human's courage was contagious. The predator hesitated, uncertain. The Bazaar held its breath. The moment was transformative. The device on the human's wrist was a neural disruptor, not for attack, but for peace. It emitted a subtle pulse, a whisper of calm. The Scarveth felt it, a warmth touching its cold mind. The human offered empathy, not aggression. This was a new path, foreign to the predator. The Scarveth processed this. The human's calm was real, backed by subtle, powerful technology. The true weapon was not the device, but the human's inner peace. The Scarveth saw a being of immense complexity, fearless in the face of danger. It could break armor, but not a spirit that refused to be broken. The human's resilience was unassailable. The Scarveth had come seeking weakness, but found a strength it could not comprehend. The Bazaar sensed the shift. The predator's power was broken. The human's courage was victorious. The legend was sealed. The Scarveth was changed. The crowd watched, awed. The human stood, unshaken. The story would be told for generations. The Scarveth stood frozen, mind swirling with confusion and respect. It stepped back, sending a shockwave through the crowd. The predator was retreating, bowing its head in acknowledgement. It had found not weakness, but a strength that changed its understanding of the universe. The Scarveth turned, its predatory confidence gone, and melted into the crowd. The space parted for it, now out of wonder, not just fear. The Bazaar watched as the legendary hunter walked away, defeated by courage, not force. The shadow lifted. The Bazaar's light shone brighter. The human lowered their hand, smiling gently, content, not triumphant. They returned to the star charts, curiosity undimmed. They were not there to fight, but to experience the galaxy. In doing so, they showed the Bazaar the true meaning of strength. The crowd exhaled, relief and awe mingling. The legend was born. The Bazaar would never forget. The story had changed them. Silence lingered after the Scarveth left, then applause erupted. First a single clap, then a wave. The Bazaar celebrated, tension dissolving into joy. Merchants offered the human gifts, glowing fruit, woven scarves, carved trinkets. The human accepted with humble gratitude, unaware of their impact. They had not just saved themselves, but inspired everyone. The story spread through the Bazaar, retold with growing wonder. The human became a hero, a legend in the making. Children gazed at them with awe, seeing not fragility, but a giant of spirit. The tale traveled beyond Xylos, across star systems and comm channels. The story of the human who faced the Scarveth without fear captured the galaxy's imagination. It made everyone reconsider strength, fear, and humanity. The Bazaar buzzed with hope. The legend grew with every telling. The human's courage became a symbol. The galaxy was changed by a single act of peace. The story would echo for generations. The Bazaar was united in awe. The human's legacy was secure. The legend had only just begun. The story became a legend, a galactic folktale teaching courage and a new kind of power. Humans, once seen as fragile, were now respected for their unpredictable resilience. Their inner strength could stare down the darkest fears. The Scarveth was never seen in Xylos again, changed by the encounter. The legend became a lesson in empathy, not just bravery. Humans traveled the galaxy, met with curiosity and respect. They brought a new perspective, solving problems with heart, not force. The legend of the human in the Bazaar sparked a new era of understanding. True strength, it taught, comes from mastering one's own fear. The story lived on, a reminder that you don't need claws or armor to be strong. Sometimes all you need is a calm mind and a brave heart. Humanity earned its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as explorers and peacemakers, and as a source of endless inspiration.